get the links out and everything. So it's
Hey,
here we
hi!
go. We are live. Henshins and
How
homies.
is it
It is
going?
What's going
amazing.
on?
We're doing great. We're having a great time. It's oh my god. Wait, who is down there? I know there's Frankie over here. There's a stranger. Who be
Well,
you?
Hello!
Hi.
Welcome to the
Hello.
podcast, Stickosaurus.
We are
Everyone, give a round of applause.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So happy to
Stickosaurus.
have Stick on the podcast with us. If you don't know Mr. Stick, he is helmet maker extraordinaire. Makes props, makes helmets. Clearly, unless he collects all of those, he could just be collecting them and just fooling all of us, I suppose.
I'm not
the
that
long
rich.
con.
We don't know. We don't know.
But yeah,
There's
I
a
had
possibility.
the idea of bringing him on because Frankie also works on helmets of his own and props, things like that. So I was like, you know what? Let's have him on and just have Frankie like starstruck the entire episode.
Oh yeah, I'm so ready to get into this topic. Oh my god,
Hey,
it's
Frankie, how
such.
about you share the link on Twitter because you have the credentials for the YouTube account. If that's okay with you. But
Yeah. I'll
okay,
Oh,
it should
so
be
this
live
is
and
like
everything.
on the channel. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the Henshins and Homies channel now officially. Yes.
So I guess that's like a fun segue to go into the fact that we have an official YouTube channel for the podcast.
Yep.
So
Woo.
it is going to be under the same name, Henshins and Homies on YouTube, and we obviously have the the Twitter link as well for our account. But also for those who don't know, would you like to tell them, Zachary?
Oh yes, we are officially on Spotify. We are on Apple. What is it called again? I don't know how to
Apple
what's
Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. Yep.
We're on
And
Google
as well.
Podcasts.
Google Podcasts as well. We are officially on many different places. If you just want to hear our sultry voices instead of seeing my horrifying face, personally,
And my glitchy face, you'll see in a minute. Stick my Wi-Fi dips like
it's
crazy.
a character trait of his Stick is to glitch out. So.
At the yes, we're gonna make it like my thing now. Like there's no episode where I'm not like glitching. You're gonna see soon. You're gonna see. And if that happens, just keep going, okay? Ignore me glitching. I'll come back, don't worry. But
Right.
yes, we're gonna have such a fun time posting our podcast to this channel. It is no longer going to be on Zachary's personal channel, although
Yep.
he'll still, post content there. We just have the podcast for a separate channel now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like
The
Zachary
archived
said, we
first
also
few
have
episodes will be on the
audio.
channel, my channel still, but they also are on the actual official channel. And going forward, it'll be just on that channel. So, woohoo! But yeah, so today's topic, we'll get into it. We are talking about how helmets happen. I know you like that alliteration there, and also our own personal favorite Toku helmets and suits. Also talking about that eventually. But I wanted to first start on the helmet situation. Are we all good on links? Are you good, Frankie?
Yes, I'm posting them right
You're
now.
good. I just want to make sure. I want
just-
to make sure you're a part of things in case you want to jump in on conversation stuff with helmets and everything.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Just generally with production of stuff like helmet suits, all of that, I've always been super impressed with it. It's one of the main things that I love about Toku. How I started with Power Rangers, eventually to Sentai, and also Rider. Just these innate, really well designed suits and helmets, and then to find out that there's these awesome people like Stick who can make these helmets and pretty effortlessly. Can I just say that? And they look amazing and
Wow.
and really truly like it's impressive. Like I think I'm like my talent or creativity more goes into like I guess talking with people and like writing. I'm not at all artistic in any way of drawing or anything like that. So when I see someone like you who has the skill to be like, look, here's a helmet and it looks like a recreation from the show, I'm like, cool. Also, wow, how? So yeah, it's always been really impressive to me. And you've always stood out on my timeline, seeing your different posts and everything. So I guess the first thing I'd like to talk about is how did you fully get into it? What was the first step you took to start making the helmets?
Well, I don't know, probably about 4 years ago now, I bought a 3D printer, just a little baby one, because I was going to make D&D miniatures. Fun story, I still have only played like one game of D&D, so um,
How's that plan going?
it's going great, you know? So, I made it like, well, I'm trying to make a helmet. And I had a little thing, I'd cut it up. I made a Star-Lord helmet, actually, is my first thing. Because I was really into comics. I'm like, you know
Do you
what?
still have it?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
We're gonna
Nice.
showcase helmets a little later, but go on with the story.
There's a sea of helmets here. Trust
Yes.
me.
Well, besides the one on
You could probably
the
build a
walls.
house out of just helmets.
No, for real. Your helmet collection is beautiful.
So, I'm like, why not try a Power Ranger helmet? So that Green Ranger helmet right there is the first Power Ranger helmet ever made. It's terrible.
Aww.
Absolutely terrible. But just enjoyed it and just You know, I'm at like 250, 300 helmets later. In the grand scheme of everything, just, you know, kind of turned into whatever this is now.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
300
so
helmets?
cool. Yeah.
Well, I have like 200. I mean, all together with customers and like remaking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you've made like you own 200 helmets, but you've made 300. That's so
Wow.
impressive.
Holy
Wow.
cow. So do you have a like a specific like and you mentioned wife and kid before we started this. So do you have like a specific set aside room that is your helmet room that is like where you do your thing at, or you have a separate storage room
Like
and
a
then a separate
studio.
creation room?
Well, this room here right now it was my podcast room a long time ago. I had a podcast, and it's just filled with helmets and toys now, where I kind of shoot my videos. But I have actually a son on the way.
Congratulations.
Next month.
Hey, congrats.
He's due
That's
on Halloween.
awesome. Yeah.
So right now we're in the process of getting an addition built that will be the
Sure.
helmet room.
Okay.
Ah.
Then it'll be the
okay.
long haul process of moving all of the helmets over there.
Not looking forward to it. I actually asked.
You just grab like a large basket.
large.
I suppose you could pay people on helmets.
But I asked Achilles what I should do for my 200th helmet video when I show him all. He's like, take them outside. I'm like, you don't even understand.
Yo, don't even start. Like that would take ages to get out and put back in.
Just be like a sped up video that's like a time lapse of like 20 hours.
And for what? Like, are you gonna spell the helmets and like numbers so they're 200?
That would be cool. I'd need like a drone though or something. That'd be interesting.
Right.
Oh my
Whole film
god.
crew. Yeah, that's really cool. Frankie, you go ahead with it. Whatever questions you have. I know you're excited about this because you also make helmets. You can talk about your thing with helmets if you would like. So
Yes. So, and I'm praying that I don't like cut off, like trying to speak. But yeah, like I make helmets. I'm not gonna call myself like a professional because I'm only in the beginning of my journey. Yes, like I have given helmets away, but that doesn't really make me a seller in any way. It's only ever been to Zach or my nephew. So as of right now,
the Real Red one up there. And then the second one we exchanged drivers. Actually, I gave him a couple of drivers I didn't need, Comrade drivers. I didn't want anymore. And he was like, "Cool, I'll take them." And I was like, "Cool, can I get a helmet?" And he's like, "Absolutely."
exactly. Instead of paying in money, we decided to trade toys because I don't really have a way to buy Toku toys as often, you know, as like compared to other people. Not that I really want that many Toku toys, but for Zachary to be able to give me his drivers, I'm like, oh my god, yes, please. And in return, I would give him a helmet that I spent some time making. You know, I've made, let me see if I remember, 7. But in total, technically 8 total helmets in total. I say 8 because I made a duplicate version of the Ryuso helmet. Zachary's version is a lot better, and I'm gonna get into why a little later. But yeah, so I'm still kind of new to this helmet making stuff. But I know that the way you make helmets is very different from how I make helmets. We have very different processes. You use a 3D
materials
printer
as well. Yeah.
Exactly. I use EVA foam to make my helmets. Like, these are all very squishy helmets. You know, you could drop it on the floor and then you probably wouldn't really chip anything. But compared to your helmets, like, for example, that saber-toothed tiger... Right, if you drop that saber-toothed tiger helmet behind you, I don't think it's going to bounce back up, you know? So, yeah, there's, like, a difference in that. And I just wanted to, like, ask, like, what is the process of 3D printing a helmet and then creating one for, let's say, a customer?
Well, first off, let me say, you making foam helmets is a lot more impressive than any of this. It's a lot more work, 100%.
These foam helmets are work. I'm not going to disagree there.
Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah.
I'm actually making a Zenkaiser chest plate out of foam.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
oh my god, I love to see that.
Are you going to cosplay that, or is it for a client?
It's for me. If you saw, I'm sure everyone saw the PMC, the Zenkaiser that was there.
Yeah.
That is Desert Fair cosplay, and like he sold me all his files and stuff, and I'm trying.
Oh, that's so cool.
I got his gear slinger, his helmet, chest piece, and all that. So I am trying to do some foam stuff, but man, that's impressive. I don't care what anyone. But
Yeah.
so for like a customer helmet, first off, let me say, I want people to make their own. I don't really enjoy making new helmets. This is so simple, anyone can do it. Honestly.
Right.
And that's what I try to teach. I'd rather teach someone to make their own helmet than me make it for them.
Same. Like, it's the same with EVA foam because, yeah, it takes a lot more work, but honestly, anyone can make an EVA foam helmet. It just takes the dedication and time. Like, you don't even really need skills besides, like, holding a crafting knife correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And, you know, people just get intimidated, but you just got to start somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for like, making a customer helmet, a lot of people that come to me want custom helmets, like either design or something. So usually with that, I send off to like 3D command center, usually who I suggest. He'll model it for you based off your artwork, and then he'll send me the file. And then we'll scale it based on your head, print it out in 2 pieces. You know, and then body filler, primer, sand, paint. And then we do fine lines and touch up, visors in, clear coat, foam and magnets and all that. And then pretty much a helmet, about 3 to 4 months worth of work.
Yeah. Wow, 3 to 4 months. Wow. For me, it takes like an average 4 to 5 weeks to make a helmet, depending on like how much I have to do for the helmet. Because with EVA foam, like with 3D printing, right, you already have the design ready. It's just like, you know, sanding it down and then painting it later, putting in the visor. But with foam, like for example with this guy, like you would need to, well, I had to make this a separate piece, and then that involved like 2 different pieces of foam, and then another piece of foam for the ridges, you know. So it's like a whole other process for the process. And it takes a while, but honestly, foam is not that hard to work with. It's fairly simple if you have a template to follow. For that helmet specifically, I made my own template. Usually I download a template from this person called Pigtail on YouTube. Awesome helmets.
Pigtail's awesome.
And if Pigtail's watching, I know he probably isn't, but if he's watching, I love you, because you're the reason why I not only got into making helmets, but why I have these helmets at all, because I was never going to be able to afford a helmet in the past, you know. So if you want something, sometimes you just gotta make it. And when I found out how easy it was to make my first helmet right here, which, like you said with the the MMPR green, like your first helmet, you said that it wasn't great. Let me show you this one. This one is not perfect either, but
I think it's awesome.
Thank you, Zach. I keep it because it's the first. Like, you never forget your first, right?
Yeah.
You never forget your first. Like, this was my first helmet.
Here, my red, though. 100%.
You're gonna make Frankie
the proportions could have been better for this helmet, but I'm not gonna roast this helmet. Like, this helmet is actually pretty fine. I like to keep it in my display next to my Ryu Soldier helmet, which maybe if Donald Fury collab with the potential Kira Major team in the future, who knows what will happen. But anyway, it'll be cool if they were together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's cool that you just find a file, you print it out, you sand it, you paint it, you all of that, you know, simplifying the process. But, you know, even though we work with different materials, we do still have similar steps, because for me, once the like different pieces are on the helmet, it's the same thing that you do. You know, I have to sand it down. I always have to prime it and stuff. I end up putting the visor, depending on the colors, you know. So we have that in common when it comes to making the helmets.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel your seams with anything? Do you use plastic dip?
Yes. I use some stuff called foam clay, or like something like that. Yeah. To fill in the seams. I used to have like it's like a white, like, Can't remember the name right now, but I used to use that to fill in seams. It wasn't really the same kind of material, so like for example on Cure Major, I use that, and you could tell like audio viewers won't be able to notice, but you could see I used that right here, and it
Ah,
didn't really work too well. So I was like, yeah, no, let me use this foam clay that, when dry, is the same type of texture as foam. And when it dries, it gives a way better result. Like, for example, right here, uh, foam clay was used right here. And it's a lot more seamless, and it's also pretty squishy. The paint won't
mhm.
rub off. So, I use stuff like that. I don't have Plasti Dip, but I use regular 2 primer spray cans, that the kind of spray cans that have primer and paint in it,
Okay,
um,
yes.
to paint my helmets. What about you?
Nice.
Usually with 3D prints, you want to build up the layer lines. So I use filler primer.
Mm.
It's like high build for like automotive, and then I use kind of thinned out body filler with acetone and struck that on before I paint.
I gotta ask you something. How do you feel about sanding?
It's always his thumbnails when he's like, dude, see how I made this? It's like a something being sanded or something like that.
I don't mind sanding. I use an electric sander for most of it. It
Oh, you're
gets
lucky.
tedious,
You're
like
so lucky.
I'll do like 6 hours. Like usually I stream every weekend. Like I wake
Uh-huh.
up at 5 in the morning. I stream till like I sand till like 9 in the morning. You can't
Hmm.
really stream that. No one wants to listen to that for 4 hours. So I do like 8 hours of sanding every weekend, and then wet sand. Well, I like wet sand. It's very peaceful.
Wet sanding, I know what you mean. Like I can't wet sand with the foam, obviously, because it absorbs
Yeah.
it. But I know that wet sanding, just from looking at other content creators, it's a lot better than like just sanding with normal paper. It gets so tedious, and when the thing that you're trying to sand down isn't going away, it's even more exhausting.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I've been there. Trust me. Trust me.
Hmm. It is a lot. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I just really enjoy hearing creative people talk about the stuff they love to do. It just makes me really happy. That's like the whole point of the show is like, yes, to come on here and like, oh my gosh, did you watch Geets this week? Did you watch Don Brothers? But also to be like, hey, let's get these awesome community members in here who have these massive array of skills that I don't personally have, and give them like a little bit of a spotlight and be like, hey, look at them. Give them some work. Give them money, all the money and the love, please. And it
Yeah.
was kind of inspired by, I tell all of our guests this, but I'd like to reiterate it because I think it's important. With Morphicon this year, where Toku Chris had done all the networking with all the different Toku tubers and people in our community on Toku Twitter, whatever you want to call it, to get the being the moderators on the panels. I thought
Yes.
that was really cool seeing that people that I know fairly well through online be the ones that are moderating these panels, asking the questions. I mean, poor Josh got to meet his hero. He got to meet Gokai Red and like talk to him and be near him. Like,
At,
I'm so
at
jealous.
Power Morphicon, like you would never
Exactly.
think like a Sentai actor, him of all people, would go to America and meet
Yeah.
the international
Yeah.
fans. Like it means so much more, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was part of it. I was like, I want to continue that process where we continue to put people on like a nice little like spotlight or pedestal to be like, hey, look at this person. They do this cool thing and get them these awesome opportunities. Because I mean, we talked about before. We're trying to remember the name. How we remember it. Doing helmet making. I'm sure as long as you have, probably before you have, of some of the people that aren't as well loved in helmet making. By the name of Aniki cosplay, who has
Mm.
so many ridiculous amount of orders. There's years in between that he gets it back to people because he keeps taking on too many, or he takes on too many of the actors' helmets that he makes, or whatever it is. Which somehow the actors ones get done really fast. That's a little interesting how that process goes faster. Uh,
Yeah.
so I've always wondered, like, do you have any theories of why that goes so slow for him? Because I feel like yours come out pretty quick from what you show on your videos and stuff. So I don't know why. Is it just the number of people, or what do you think?
Well, there's a lot to it. It is the number of people. Two, it's kind of where he lives. Like you don't. There's not a lot of accountability there.
Sure.
If you go through his Etsy store, he has to. So people
Yes.
get. But if
Yeah,
you're just
that's what
ordering online,
Hedge did. Hedge on Colors did as well. He got the Down Thunder yellow suit and the helmet, and he went through the Etsy store because they make sure that you do or you get shut down. So yeah,
yeah.
Right.
yeah,
And he his helmets are, I think, fiberglass, so it is a lot more work.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
But it's not that much more work. Like,
Well, yeah, and is it enough work to be like? I've heard horror stories of people ordering and it being like 3+ years in between. Like, man,
It's
you get into
absolutely
the first year,
absurd.
I'm gonna start giving up that I'm ever gonna see it. It's like a lost Amazon order at that point.
yeah,
Yeah, like
there's no excuse for that. That's just negligence at that point.
especially
Sure.
if Aniki doesn't address it, because if you're a client and
I've
you've
never
been
seen him
waiting
address
for
it.
2+ years for like say a normal helmet that really shouldn't take that much time to create, even if you're on a waiting list, even if Aniki is so stocked up, it's his responsibility as the seller to contact the client and say, I'm so sorry for the hold up. We will try to get your helmet done as soon as possible, and then keep the client posted, because obviously if you just leave them in the dark, they're gonna be clueless on when the
Yeah.
helmet's gonna be done, whenever they're gonna get it,
Yeah.
and it's unfair because helmets are not cheap. If we're gonna learn anything from this video, from this
Yeah.
podcast, this interview, helmets are not cheap.
No.
They
Well,
will
and
always be
And
expensive.
the other thing too is
Mhm.
that. So go ahead, Frankie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are you okay?
No, it's
You're good?
okay. I'm just saying that like helmets are not cheap, so to order something so expensive and then to not get it for years, especially if you have it planned for a specific event, is so disrespectful, but also very unprofessional
Right.
as a seller.
Well, yeah, and it sucks too because I'm only like somewhat dabbling and sort of half kind of cosplay with like my Ryusoul Red costume I'm doing, which actually I forgot to tell you, Frankie, Stick is working on something for me, a holster for my Ryusoulkin because
Oh my god, you got
the Memorial Ryusoulkin doesn't fit into the holster that the normal DX Ryusoulkin fits into.
yes,
I asked
yes.
Sentai 5 about that. And I was just, at first I was just asking Stick, and he's like, yeah, I have a person in my Discord that just made this 3D model. Here you go, blah, 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 this tiny bit of chump change, and I'll make this
Oh
model for
wow.
you. I'm like, thank you.
That is so sweet. No, Zach, literally,
like-
I saw you on Twitter asking, like, hey, does this work? And I actually had that question too when I got
Right.
my Memorial Edition.
Sometimes you get lucky and it does, and it just be like weighed down. But no, it's the spikes are too big. But what I was gonna say
I
is
figured,
I
yeah.
understand from like a cosplay set point of view of like wanting all the details there, and like Lupin J did that, had a problem with that, where he was waiting for his Lupin Red helmet, and finally got it. He unfortunately has a bad habit of putting too many things on Twitter, and then other people jump in for no reason and try to get involved. That's a whole other topic. But I understand the importance of it because it is truly like an experience. I will literally say I'm verging on like a religious experience when you finally get that helmet and you get to put it on for the first time. Like, it's one thing watching as a kid, right? You're watching the show and you're seeing them put their helmets on or take them off, or a helmetless scene, whatever, right? But I remember I recorded my video of unboxing the helmet, the Ryusoul Red that he sent me, and I was just like, I almost couldn't speak because I was just so excited to have one. Because like I always wanted one, but I'm like, Aniki's $400, $500, $600, whatever. Like I'm not gonna try it. And he's like, I'll make you one. And I was like, thank you. And it fit. That was one thing too. Is I have a very large head, so it fit me comfortably. And so like
I
that
made
made me
sure
wanna cry.
I made sure to get the measurements right because I knew that like the helmet needs to be bigger. So I literally went to another friend who makes helmets. I don't want to get their name wrong, but I think AQR Ranger on YouTube. Sorry,
Okay.
not on YouTube. Instagram. AQR Ranger. I'm going to fact check that in a minute. He helped me get the right measurements for your helmet. So if it wasn't for him, I would have made the same mistake I made for 01, unfortunately, when I was in the middle of making it, and then I realized, oh no, it's too small. It couldn't even really fit my
It's really
head.
cool. So this part is like magnets underneath it,
Oh,
right
that's
there, and that's how the face mask, which is really cool because that's also like in show how it kind of looks, how the face mask attaches to it, in show.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so-
no, it doesn't even come close to fitting me. It's like a luchador.
Yeah.
It looks like a luchador like S&M type mask without the thing on there.
No, we're not even going to talk about what that looks like without
But
the 01 mask
My
on
kids
it.
love
But
to wear them. I have many pictures and videos of
I'm
them wearing
so
it and
happy.
riding their bikes, and they love them. They're like,
and I have those videos saved because I find them adorable. ARQ Ranger is his name on Instagram. Rodrigo,
okay.
He is amazing. He has an amazing amazing account just showing off all his work, and I could not be more grateful
Yeah.
to be friends with him because he is so talented and so knowledgeable of this kind of stuff, just like you, Stegosaurus. And so when I was making my first helmet, it was really nice to have like someone guide me through that a little bit. He doesn't make his helmets with foam, but he does know like how to do measurements and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I took all the knowledge that he could give me to heart and made sure to give that to you.
And that's what I think is important. That's what the point I was getting to eventually was that it's a moment when you finally have that piece, that helmet, that shield, like for Zenkaiser or whatever, you finally have it done, and to have that not happen, and for whatever reason, for years not getting it, what's the point of even at that point? You're going to give up. I don't even know I'm going to be in 3 years. Like I could be living in a different town entirely. Like
exactly. It's heartbreaking. Anything, right? It's very sad. Like it could go for anything. Like you could buy like a new. No, that's not gonna happen. A new wheel for your motorcycle, for example. Like say you need that like in 2 days.
Right.
That takes 3 months. No, like that's not how transactions work. If you say it's going to be done at this time, it better be done at that time. And it's just as simple as that. Even if you're unsure, always let the client know. Because I'll be honest with you, Zachary, like sometimes I got busy with my own life when I was making a helmet, and I would let you know, like, hey, like it'll be a little late,
Oh yeah,
and you were totally fine with it.
I was so happy. I was like, dude, you're awesome. You're doing this cool thing for me. Take your time. Have a coffee. Eat a sandwich. Don't worry about it.
I don't drink coffee, but I'll eat that sandwich. No, but yeah, I find that very important as someone who does make helmets for friends to let those friends know when that helmet will be finished. Now, Aniki, in his case, he is more of a business, and so there will be a lot more people asking for helmets, and so inevitably there's going to be a wait list. But it's Aniki's responsibility to let those customers know that their helmets will, or maybe not show up at the time that they were promised. And again, even if it wasn't, he should keep updating them and let them know, like, hey, either it's going to come even sooner than the due date, or it may come a little later, Right. And it's honestly okay if things don't show up
as long as early to let them know, like, what's happening. Like, I'd much rather know it's going to take an extra week or 2 or month than to not know and expect it and be like, all right, I'm going to the convention. I'm going to go to the post office for nothing. What's happening?
Exactly. So yeah, especially to not wait like 3 years. Don't do that.
I've literally seen that. I wish I was making that up, but I was like, a
lot of horror stories. Yeah, no. And Aniki also makes things other than helmets, so I understand if him and his team are stocked up in like things to do. A lot of things for cosplay, especially
a team. How is he behind?
Well, they probably make a lot of stuff, and they make things even for the actors. But still, it's the transparency that I don't like about him and his business. Like I'll be honest.
Customers, you have to.
Exactly. I like Aniki's.
The quality is there. It's just the time that it takes to get things. It's like I don't even want to try. That's why I honestly was like,
I agree. I agree.
Helmet, I was like, yes, please. Like it's never going to happen any other way.
Like I agree. Like I like Aniki's quality of helmets, suits, props, and accessories. But if you're not letting your customers know anything about the process of when it'll be done or not, then you lose that trust.
Yeah.
And that customer will feel very sour. Even if they do end up getting their product, they're going to be like, man, like I could have went to another cosplay creator and would have had this helmet 2 months in advance compared to Aniki. Right. They'd feel ripped off.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep a business, it's important that you keep a consistent schedule, or, have people trust you enough for them to recommend other people to go to you, or else they're going to do the exact opposite.
Yeah. So I do want to, real quick, before we switch to our second part, which is like our favorite suits and helmets and all that, I always wanted to ask Stick, what is your personal favorite helmet that you've made?
I want to know this.
Is it there with you, and can you show us?
Personal favorite.
Is it your OG?
Yeah. Is it the Green Ranger?
Definitely. I'll say,
just be honest.
I don't like the Green Ranger helmet. Not for me. But
sure.
Yes.
I thought so. This is a really cool helmet. Is this your logo helmet?
This isn't my good one. This is the old one. I'm working on a new one, but
okay.
This is Gokai Stick.
That's so cool.
Nice.
Gokai Stick. Oh, I love it. Oh my
But
god! Tell
Is
us
that
how
an
like it
octopus on
went.
the top of it? A squid?
it's an octopus. It's a blue ringed
Nice.
octopus. I like
Nice.
octopuses. I love Go Kaiser, so I'm like, you know what? But yeah, I drew up a concept for this. I had Emperor Mighty help me refine it. He does
Sure.
great artwork. 3D Command Center modeled for me. I printed it, finished it all myself. I am working on a new one. It's the same thing. It's a little smaller. This one ended up being a little bigger. And we made it a little
Nice.
cleaner of some stuff. But
Now, like all of us who are, with the disease of Toku being in your bloodline, your blood, within your nervous system,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
think I
you,
have that
besides
one too.
designing it, you probably also came up with lore behind it, yes or no? Like a whole character behind it, or no?
a little bit. Like,
Sure.
like the story is he was just fighting with the Go Kaisers and he fell off into an ocean on some planet and he was saved by an octopus and they're kind of like a
Oh wow!
symbiotic relationship now.
Oh, that's so
Yes,
cool.
and it's just part of his transformation. That's amazing.
I would
That's
honestly
so cool.
love to read like a comic about like
Yeah.
Gokai's Stichosaurus. Like
Well, I'll have
honestly,
a suit coming soon. I'm working on it.
I was gonna ask like, is there a
Nice.
suit?
And does
Wow.
can you say it all? Does the octopus continue into the suit, or is it just a helmet thing and there's other parts?
There's like seashell
Pauldrons?
pauldrons that have tentacles coming out.
Oh, that's
And
It's
bad.
gonna be
nice.
Comrade Janae.
So that will
Yes.
be out.
Yeah, Muteki-san, yeah.
That is amazing. Yo, we
Do
gotta
you,
get that helmet in the thumbnail. We'll do that later.
Absolutely.
Later.
Fine.
Stick, do you also do you do just Ranger and Sentai helmets, or do you also do Rider helmets?
You've done Revise. I've seen you do Revise, right?
Yeah, I do rider helmets.
I like I'm
and
looking around. I feel like the whole floor is just like there's no floor. It's just
There are.
helmets.
No, it's the opposite. He's like, I don't know which one to pick.
I don't have a rider helmet.
That's okay.
But I do rider helmets, and I have a Ultraman orb almost done too.
Oh, cool. That would be cool to have an Ultraman
He got
one. That's one I've not
the Holy
gotten into.
Trinity.
Yeah.
He
That's
got Power
super
Ranger,
cool.
Sentai, Kamen Rider, and Ultraman. Come
We
on.
got,
Come on.
Nice.
Kamen Rider helmets I've done so far. The videos are coming. Will be revised. Kamen Rider Black, RX,
Mm.
and I have an Ichigo the next almost done. A 01 started and a Kuga started.
Oh, Kuga, nice. I just got my Blu-ray recently. I love Kuga so much. Oh my
Kuga's
gosh.
very big right now.
Oh,
so
it's
if you
so
get that video
good.
out, people are gonna
Oh.
watch, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Just put
I'm hoping.
hashtag Bluga in the.
Yes. Kuga on Bluga.
Yes, absolutely. People are gonna
That's
come
so
flooding in.
awesome.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we can kind of segue that since we just talked about me loving Kuga. So we're going to segue into our own personal favorite, which you're going to have a bunch of visual aids. I'm not going to have as many as you are.
Ooh.
But,
I'm ready. I'm
favorite
ready to talk about this one.
/ suits. I know you don't have to have a suit with you. That's fine. You can just talk about whatever suit. Unless you do. Unless you're going to take your hoodie off and you have your Zenkaiser suit underneath it.
He's like, actually, I've been waiting to.
Just wait a minute.
It's a little hot in here. Let me just take off this hoodie. Oh, is
Let me
this my
just
suit?
change your Zenkai.
I
Imagine.
would.
Yo, imagine how cool it would be if you could actually transform into suits like the way the show
dang
does.
it. It's the dream. God. One day.
One day.
All right, so we will start with Stick. With your, you can do. I was thinking we'd do a fave from each of like I call the big three: Sentai, Rider, and I guess Ultraman. But you don't. If you want to do Ultraman, you can do just Power Rangers. There's a specific Power Ranger specific original one you want to talk about. That's fine. But I'll let you kind of start with what your favorites are, and then we'll go around. So.
My probably favorite Sentai suit, kinda, is probably Zuo Whale.
Oh, Geo Whale. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Stupid coattails, they got me. I stole from my suit. I stole
He's like,
that.
I see something in this.
It's so much more majestic than it has any right to be. But God, it's so cool.
It really is. Oh my god.
And
Is that
Riders-
helmet included or just the suit? You do not like the helmet? or
Oh,
do you?
the helmet's beautiful. I
Yeah.
don't know if I can reach mine.
Oh, you've made one.
He's like, it's like 8 feet away.
You're good, man. We
He's
can
gonna get
also
it.
hear you. If you guys
Audio
see
viewers
a
are like,
happen
"Oh."
where the shelves fall over, we're ending the stream. It's a tragedy.
No, these are all.
That
Sorry.
is beautiful.
Dude, Is there like
Wow.
polishing that has to go with the helmet? How you make your helmet specifically stick? Because I know yours with Evil Foam that couldn't do that, maybe, but I don't know.
No, it's just a good clear coat. As long as
Yeah.
it's smooth, it will shine.
A clear coat will get you. Unfortunately, like for foam helmets, at least for mine, because I don't use like a rubber primer, the spray paint, as much as I put normal primer, will still seep in. So gloss doesn't really give the same effect. Like for example, I tried putting gloss on Kira Major. You can kind of see it, but it's not the same or like nearly as neat as yours. And,
Well,
oh my
these
god.
lights make it look a lot nicer than it really is.
Oh yeah. I definitely know what
Camera
you mean.
ends 10 pounds.
I take photos with my helmets every time I finish one. Yep, and I always like to send it on Twitter and show off because like yeah, I could show a photo of the helmet on my bed, but if I'm gonna like save these for memories, you know, especially for the ones that I give away, I want to have like a really nice photo, a really detailed photo to see them, you know, and to just admire them and always look back on the process of making them, which each one of them always has a story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they're all
yeah.
Cool.
different.
So that's your favorite Sentai one then, for sure?
Yeah, I love this thing. This stick. That's sick.
And it's so crazy
It's
to think
beautiful.
about, like, the things that Sentai and Rider can make be badass. Like, a whale, you're like, if you don't know anything about Sentai and Rider, you'd be like, how is a whale, oh. That's how it was
No,
seeing Ziogo
they'll
for the
figure it
first-
out. They'll figure it
Yeah,
out. They
real
always figure it out.
Real
hmm
quick.
I just want to meet the team who like works on
Would that be
costume
Plex?
design.
Is that what it is? Plex, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Maybe.
Plex?
I think that's who I know that's who they work with
I think
with
Flex
Power
does do
Rangers.
the designs for Sentai.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to them and just like, you know, pick their brain about like
Dude.
so you get a concept, right? Like
We
say you
have a
gotta make
podcast.
maybe one day. But I'm saying like they have to grab a concept. Like let's say a team has to be centered around sushi. How do you make that work? How do you make that marketable enough to support a brand for a whole year? You know, how do you make toys center around this concept suit? You know, so many things go into that kind of stuff, and I'd always
Yeah, I would love to know what
wondered.
the starting point is, because then it goes from there, like you said, to everything else. The changer, the sword, the boots, the everything has to fit that design.
And it has to be the whole series. Like, to us, like, oh, we only see 5 Rangers in the beginning, but no, what if the series has like 8 Rangers? They got to make all 8 Rangers before the series even airs, and like
Or
the
those
Zords
poor
that go with
saps who
them.
did Q Ranger and Ryuki.
Oh my god! Like
12, 13 different people to put together.
they had to make all of that before the series even aired, or maybe even like during the early season. So a lot of work goes into it, and
Yes.
to like design it,
Yeah.
especially in real time,
Yeah.
it's impressive.
What
I
about
be
Rider,
grateful.
a Rider helmet and suit for you?
Mm-hmm.
See, okay, I don't know a whole lot about Rider yet. I didn't
Okay.
get all through that yet, but I would probably say I like Kamen Rider Black, or
Oh, do you mean Saban's Masked Rider?
no, not
No,
Black RX.
no.
It's Black.
Just black, just black.
We don't speak that name.
Phrase. I'm phrase.
Like, don't get it twisted. There's black and there's Black RX. I'm talking about black.
I've watched
All
both.
right.
They're fantastic.
Probably that suit. Or I really like Kamen Rider Stronger. That thing is.
Mm. Oh
It is-
wow.
Showa has just something about it that is just like, yeah, you did that, you know? You went, you made your design.
Especially for a suit like Stronger, because you look at it and you're comparing it to the other suits. You're like, okay, that's interesting. But is it because it's different? Is that why you like it so much?
I don't know. It just has that early Showa charm. I don't know. I really like older
I get it.
Sentai helmets and all that. If you
Ah,
haven't noticed,
okay.
so it
That's the Jetman red one behind you, isn't it?
this
The
one?
birdie? Yeah.
No, that
That-
is Live Man Red.
Live Man, that's what I meant. Live
Yeah,
Man.
that's
Yes,
Live
I
Man,
watched
yeah.
both. I love both.
Come on, Zachary, aren't you supposed to know this stuff?
Hey,
Oh,
I'm
you were
trying
just corrected on
literally.
Black
At
RX.
first, I was just trying to watch a few different Sentai, man, and now it's like I've watched most Heisei Sentai, and I'm gonna go back and try and watch Showa. Why not? I can't stop. I just keep doing it. I can't.
To watch Showa Heisei and Reiwa Sentai and Kamen Rider, then also have Power Ranger knowledge, like my brain can't fit all that. Like sometimes things are gonna be forgotten, and I just gotta be reminded. Okay, I get
Yeah. What about for Power Rangers? Any of those that are like just like an original Power Ranger suit of any kind you can think of that you like or whatever? Maybe the battleizers?
No, I don't like it.
I love
No,
how you're
really?
nudging him
Oh,
like,
okay.
maybe.
Okay.
No, I don't like the Spirit Rangers. I guess Titanium's okay. It's okay.
Sure.
Wow.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, like, it makes sense because you are a man of culture making helmets and stuff. So you're like, you know what? No.
Mm-mm.
Why not the Spirit Rangers? You don't think they look enough like they should, or what?
So, I don't know if I've ever said it anywhere really, but I've been watching Sentai like from the beginning through chronologically. Yeah. You know, I watched Geki Ranger, and then my wife was watching Power Rangers at the time, and I was watching Jungle Fury,
yeah,
right. And you know, like something about the Geki Rangers having the mentors that are actually the animals that play into the plot, and then them replacing them with like bad looking suits. I don't know. They don't look good. They look lazy. You know?
Yeah. I think they were impressive enough at the time because it was like, wow, we can actually do something as Americans. But looking back, like they could have been more, I guess.
Like the Bat one's cool. I like the Bat one. I'm working on it.
I will say the Bat one is the one I think of every time I hear the word Spirit Ranger.
I think they were made by the same Japanese team though.
They
were just commissioned by Power Rangers.
They were. They 100% were.
Now Stick's turning his back on Toei. He's going to do it himself, make his own Sentai.
He's like, watch me do it better.
I've watched your entire chronological timeline of shows. Now it's
he like moves the shelves behind him, and there's like a whiteboard with like arrows and like circles. He's like, this is what's going to be different.
John Toei.
This is my letter to you, Toei.
Well, it's kind of what we do over on the Patreon. We like vote on a theme, and then we vote on a subset of that theme. Like our first one was construction vehicles one, and then a bulldozer ranger one. So we designed for it. We got it modeled, and we're working on it right now as a community.
Oh, that's beautiful. Working on things as a community.
Sea Creatures won the second poll, so we'll see what comes out of that. But
I mean, I bet you're excited for that because your whole brand is like centered around an octopus.
Ranger's the mentor. What?
Exactly. Like having a whole team that's a part of your original character.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I think Killer Whale's winning right now, but I haven't checked.
Ooh, yeah.
Killer Whale is killer.
Well, it could be it could be like a nice like dark variant of what they did with Geo Whale. Honestly, if you think about it, where that was more like a nice little whale, where this one's like, no, I want to eat you and your children.
You know, whichever one that you feel like giving
Whatever
up.
comes first.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. So
that's an awesome selection, honestly.
On the original PR things, that's okay. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I think that what's it called? Titanium is decent. I think Titanium is pretty good. I think they did the best they could. It's really fun watching Lightspeed Rescue and like seeing where they had to like squeeze him in because like he's a completely American creation entirely.
Right.
So like there's like it was. I really would love to look at like if there's any information they could ever find out or put out there of like the budget they had to work with to make the original footage for that, to make it work for Titanium, because there's like he's there for a bit and then there's the whole thing where he's not, so clearly because they didn't have enough footage with him in it and they have to use burn up the Sentai footage, and then he comes back for a bit, so there's not a ton where he's with the team. When he is, it's magical, but there's not a lot of it when you really look
at least they made it work. They try to make it work to make it consistent with the Six Ranger theme. And I think they did a good job. He's iconic. Here's
a random just ass pull of an idea if you've done this for a helmet. Do you know the legendary Mystic Knights of Tirnanog?
I do.
Okay. Have you ever had somebody commission you to make one?
I've had people ask, but there's no
files
to get the models. There are files out there, but it's.
That hurts me. Do you know what the show is, Frankie? Are we surprising you? Oh, my wonderful young friend, I need to tell you, man. So so they're doing Power Rangers, right? They're doing their thing, and it's like, boom, successful. Big Bad Beetleborgs was decent, ran out of footage because they're stupid, because it was clearly a dying, like, Metal Heroes is dying really fast. VR Troopers went nowhere, clearly. So then they were like, what can we do? They straight made their own entire original thing called the Mystic Knights of Tirnanog, steeped in Celtic, like, nature and, like, folklore and stuff. And it was pretty, I don't know if to use the word decent. It was a show with
Yeah.
actors.
Oh,
It was a show.
oh, okay. I see. I see.
But dude, they had like their own set, like original morph call, and like it was specific to each one of them. It was like the ground beneath me, the seas behind me, blah blah blah, and the suits are and I want to say that the red on the team, who was of course the leader, and they had only 4 people on their team, then a 5th ranger, so kind of like Abba Ranger, Dino Thunder. He was like Forest or something goofy, but they're the ones that both got a battleizer, if I remember right. Kind of a battleizer. But yeah, I just wondered if someone was like, "Can you please make me a Mystic Knights of Chernarok helmet?" That's amazing.
Wow.
Oh my
maybe,
goodness.
maybe you should get the community to make an STL file, and you can sell it.
Dude, you
Maybe like a little challenge
made by somebody. Just make a Mystic Knights Chernarok one. You have people like scrubbing through the like awfully like pixelated footage on YouTube trying to find the.
It won't be easy, especially with old footage. But maybe you could take like some creative liberties on, like, you know.
I'm gonna grab something. Come back. There we go. All right.
What is he talking about?
I needed a prop. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were like asking for a bird to like land on your finger. He like stood up and everything. Like, come to me. I was like, you got a bird? Like, what's going on?
Do you want me to
Zachary, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll go last. Go ahead.
I have a prop. Okay.
Okay.
So,
show us.
As I tell everybody, as I must convert all to the religion of Rio Soldier. Have you seen Rio Soldier? I'm gonna ask that first, Stick. No? Okay.
I've seen a couple episodes.
Stick, be careful with what you say next.
No. I am one of those people. It's the same way that I handle when like I like find out people that like, because I only have like I play games on a PS4. You know, like we find people that are like on Xbox. I don't really care. Whatever, it doesn't matter to me. Like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're an Xbox, you must be lame. But like, Real Soldier is really important to me. I really like the show. I have a tattoo, literally, of the show on my arm somewhere here. God, there it is. There it is.
There
you
we
can
go.
see it. Woohoo!
Beautiful.
It was the thing that brought me into the Toku community. So like when around the time it was airing is when I started getting into Toku Twitter and meeting like Sentai 5 and Vaughn and a few other people on there. And I was like, this show's really good. And then like I watched it and then rewatched it right before my son was born. So like I was super emotional at the time along with the show. So it was just super important to me. But I really like the show. I love the suits and the helmets. And Dino Fury is great. But
and Dino Fury too.
it is. It's a decent adaptation. I'm really happy about that. I was worried it was going to be garbage. There he goes, getting glitchy.
Oh boy.
I love it. It's perfect.
He's so excited. So my favorite in that show is this little boy right here, Max Ryusol Red, the helmet and the suit. I love it. I guess a bit of spoilers for you, Stick, since you haven't seen the full show. But
I want to make that. I've been wanting to make that. That thing's awesome.
Yeah.
It finally happened.
So many high quality pictures of the suit. Like there's so many HD photos of like either cosplayers or like from the show. I don't know what it is, but it's just like anytime someone posts it, I just sit there for like 2 minutes just staring at it.
You're talking about the Max Ryusol Red?
Yes, the suit.
I wasn't even in the call, and I knew you were talking about Max Ryusol Red. I love it.
I love the design of it because, like, thematically, what it is in the show between like this like villain character's suit and the combined with the Red Ranger's suit together, and that coming together, and it comes together really well. Like it uses the red color. It still has the same like little zigzaggy thunderbolt down the center, but it uses all the elements of the armor that they have because like the real soldier suits aren't armored except for like the helmet. So it uses like the armor from Gaisorg a lot along with the Red Ranger suit together, and it blends it so cool. And especially like all the design pieces of it is just I really like it. That would be the next one I would ask Frankie to make, or you or someone. God, please, to
make Ryusol Red.
Max Ryusol Red, yes.
I mean, yeah, Max Ryusol Red.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Because it's really nice. I really enjoy it. For Rider, I do really like 01. From 01, my favorite is Vulcan. I really like Vulcan's different like variations on his helmet. But I'm really a big fan of Demons, Kamen Rider Demons from Revice.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a good one. That's
the
a good one.
Second that preview for the episode dropped showing him, I was like, is this is this real life? I felt like a little kid. I was like, this is super exciting. This is super cool. I love the colors. I love how it moves. I love the placement of everything. Like, it just makes sense.
And can I be honest? Like, looking back at it, right? Like, it doesn't even really seem like Demons is a part of Revice with just the way the suit looks. Like,
Yes.
it looks so original.
When they all stand next to each other, they do not look like they're from the same show at all.
That's one thing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing with Revice, but that's true. None of them look
all
like.
the way through Revice, Nick, to know like all the things and stuff?
I know all the suits. Like my
Sure,
favorite
okay, yeah, I didn't know.
suit.
I hate to spoil people. I hate it so
Everyone
much.
says
No, I
I'm
don't want.
disgusting for liking that suit, but I don't know.
For which
I
one?
think Thundergale's beautiful.
Which one?
Which suit?
Thundergale.
Oh, I love
Thundergale.
Thank you. I was right there with you exactly. I was
It's
like,
beautiful.
why are you people hating it? This is like.
I'm kidding. I'm
fine
kidding.
with this. Like, I will say the stage show thing that just came out of Shin Revice or whatever.
Woo! Woo!
I do kind of see why people would have wanted that to be what Thundergale looked like, or that to be what Giffard Rex was, to be them combined together, because it was kind of a theme of the final forms of the siblings being the combined demon and human together. So it would have been cool. They only did it separate so they could have the whole storyline thing they did at the end. But
and also the cool
so
story,
no, I love Thundergale. It's actually the gimmick item that my kids play with the most when they want to play.
Come
with
on,
like,
Thundergale, go!
Just keep it
Come
because
on.
it spins because it has the little like fan inside
Yeah, the
of it
fan,
that spins that revs up. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's so fun.
For Power Rangers, I'm a little different in the fact that the battleizer ones I do like. I know it's not your favorite Stick, and I'm
We'll make mistakes. It's okay.
Disgust you.
Stick is like
People
twitching.
don't
He's
like
like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
That's a really sharp knife. Is that made out of foam?
Stick, it's okay. You you can put it down.
Stick is in your house.
He's like, I'm gonna be right back, and he like knocks you out with the helmet.
I don't even know where he lives. He probably does live close enough to murder me for this, but I don't know. I think the battleizer armors and like helmets are really interesting. Not all of them change the helmets a lot. Like the first, the one for In Space or whatever, just basically added pecs and like some like wings or whatever.
Yeah,
but they get like more in depth as you go, and I really like that. And I like how it was so much of a big deal that around SPD they were like, "Woo! Here we go, V Cinema for Deca Ranger. Here we go. We're bringing it into the canon." And then they started doing that. Like, there's a lot of like recent Sentai that have this big power up moment for the Red Ranger, and they have like an armor and blah blah blah.
We can thank that for Max Riesel Red.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so happy that they used it. So yeah, I really like a good chunk of them. My favorites, I think I like the Dino Thunder one the best. The battleizer from that, I think that's one of my favorites. And I do like I'm trying to think of the Mystic Force one is really cool as well.
Mystic Force is awesome. I'll give
I like that with Fireheart and the combination. I just
spoiler alert. That's my favorite Power Ranger suit.
Is it really?
Mystic Force's battleizer?
Yeah. The Fireheart battleizer? Yeah. Yeah.
It is too underrated. It is too underrated. We need a Lightning Collection.
And I like how the weapons are just like some fucking sticks to beat your ass with. Like it's always a sword or a gun sword or whatever.
An axe or something.
Or
a gun sword.
It's
true.
But then Mr. Force is like, nah, I'm gonna get my drumsticks. Oh, you think I'm gonna play a solo?
What
no,
is it?
I'm gonna
Is it
play
called
a solo on your
batons?
spine.
I think they're batons, right?
Whatever they are, he's beating ass with it.
Yeah, like 2 batons. That's like dragon theme, right? Yeah. But continue,
That's one thing too that I wish, it's a tiny thing. I really wish in like Dino Fury, maybe we'll get this in Cosmic Fury, probably not. I don't know. Bring back the term battleizer. Why are they so scared of using the term? It's been so many like battleizer-esque things that they've done. Like Dino Charge had one technically, and Super Mega Force. Well, not really, but technically Silver. Like they've had the opportunity to do it and they don't. And I'm like, just use it. Just use the word. Say it's just.
I think Power Rangers is actually trying not to use the word battleizer just because they think it's not very creative. But I disagree. I think battleizer is a kick-ass name. Like, please put it in any power-up that you make for
my phone.
Power Ranger.
Hates me when I try to type it. Anytime I ever try to type it,
it's like battleizer.
You mean battle lore? No, I no.
Do you mean battle?
Battle
fertilizer. Is that like what are you trying to say? Come on. All right.
Go ahead, Frankie. Here we go.
Turn.
We already
It's
know
my turn.
yours. Spoilers.
Yes. Well, I'll go from Rider, Sentai, Power Rangers. So for Kamen Rider, and I got a photo. Sorry to the audio viewers. We're on YouTube, okay? But for let me get it. No, did it disappear? Okay, fine, whatever. The Rider suit that is my absolute favorite, and I posted about it on Twitter too. It is going to be this suit right here.
Oh, from Gaim. Yeah.
Yes, Gaim. His name is
Yeah, it's Michi's brother, right?
yes, Michi's brother.
Melon
The
Boy.
Melon Arms.
Yeah.
Arms. Soda. Like
Yeah.
Soda Melon Arms. Please don't attack me. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I love the suit. I love the helmet. I love the weapon. Everything about it. Oh, and the jingle too. That's my absolute favorite. Like everything about it is just. Mwah.
Now, have you seen the follow-up little V Cinema where we get to see Kachidoki?
Yes.
Of it, because that one is even better to me.
that is great, but because Gaim did it first, I'm just like,
just right on the coattails.
okay, like I kind of see that you're just copying him, but whatever. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. It's such a good suit.
Yeah, it's a clean suit. It really is.
Absolutely.
Really is.
And my favorite detail about it is the fact that if you look inside the visor, there's like bubbles, like the soda. Yeah. Like details like that, and then the straws, the metal straws.
Back to the things that Toku can make badass. Soda, like the driver just goes soda, and you literally hear like the sound effect of a pop being poured into a bottle.
Yes. It's amazing.
think
Melon Energy Arms.
Yes,
Melon Energy Arms. I'm sorry to anyone who was like yelling at me at the screen. Melon Energy Arms. I love Melon Energy Arms.
Take away his credentials. Get him off the podcast.
guys, please don't. Wait. No, but
think with that sound for it that they actually recorded an actual pop and used it, or do you think they made that synthetically?
They probably downloaded it from like a library or something. But it'd be funny if they did. It probably is.
It's actually Shirokuro, and he was just like, "Here's a pop."
And in the ADR room, they're like, "I'm just gonna drink a soda." Wait,
I'm running out of ideas, guys.
Open that next to the microphone.
They gotta be different than fruit, but still be something you consume.
Wait, do that again. It's just so fun for Sentai. I'll pick like a team. My favorite team suits and helmets are Lupin, Pat.
Okay.
I know. Like last episode, I was just talking about it. But Lupat, their suits, they're so nice, especially when, even though they're different teams, they have similarities in their design. Like in their helmets, for example. Like, yeah, the top looks different. Like with the Lupin Rangers, it's top hats. For the Poucher Rangers, it's pleats, caps. But their mouths look similar. The back of the helmet looks similar.
Yeah. Which feeds back into the lore of the show, where all their powers came from the same source, where he created them from the Lupin pieces, so.
Yes, yeah. There you go. It's a great.
I mentioned this last time we talked about Lupat in the last episode. The changer for that Ranger for Lupin / Patron X is the worst designed changer. I hate it with a passion. I was so excited to get it, and then I got it, and I was like,
I'm not gonna disagree.
This is too many things to exist.
You're like, what am I doing?
It would every time I would go by my shelf, it wouldn't matter if I went by at 0.3 speed or 20 miles an hour. It would always fall and knock a bunch of my shit over every time. And when you go to do the spin it, it doesn't always spin how it should. Oh, it's so unnecessary.
Yeah, because you gotta
go ahead.
And then
you have to flip it all around like he does. Of course you have to flip it around because no flips.
Get it, guys? You get it?
I'm always such a sucker for the goofiest, weirdest things in Sentai, but I can't stand that changer. It's too much.
I mean, the only credit I'll give to the changer is the fact that it's also his mech. That
is cool, and then it's
the mech becomes the changer. The changer becomes the mech. It's fun. It's different. Should we do it again?
Please, God.
That's up to debate. Anyway,
completely be cut out in an adaptation. It would not survive, and if it did, I would donate all of my money in my bank account to Power Rangers to Hasbro.
You heard it here. You heard him, guys. You heard him.
They will not keep it. They didn't keep.
Hold Zachary to his word, guys.
They didn't keep Burger Morpher, all right? I wanted Burger Morpher so bad in Ninja Steel, and they didn't keep Burger Morpher. They did gold repaint of their stupid.
The most American thing that they could have adapted, and they're like,
used it for one joke and like making a selfie with it, and never again. Anyway,
I mean, we didn't even get Riso Gold's helmet changer for the U.S. So
I'm sure Cosmic Fury will eventually get it.
That's coming, I think that's.
It's rumored to come. We don't know yet. But hopefully it does, because it's weird to not have a 6.
They would start making morphers for the new seasons in the Lightning Collection,
and make the keys flip. Interesting idea. Lastly for Power Rangers, I already said it, but Mystic Force's battleizer. Oh.
Yeah, that hits different.
Like, you just breathe in the creativity with that one,
and
the fact. It's literally magical. Like, I love the blue.
You could say you believe in magic.
I'm sorry, just give me a second. Before I did it, but after seeing this suit,
you can cut the audio. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Give me a second, guys. No, for real. Like, I would scream into the mic, but I don't want to disrupt people who are using headphones. I believe in magic. I believe in magic. Like, especially for that suit. That suit, hands down, 10 out of 10. Nothing missed. Absolutely slayed. Everyone was gobsmacked. Like, it was the suit. And they need to bring it back in some way, shape, or form in a toy or in a poster. Like you said, Zachary, a few episodes ago, you want a battleizer line for Lightning Collection. That should be the first one.
It's such a no-brainer that they have not done for Lightning Collection. It hurts my soul. It'd be so easy.
It would be easy, and they should definitely do it. And if they are going to do it, that is a definite pick for them to make, because it is such a creative suit. I love the design.
How they could, similar to Max Real Soul Red, they combine the elements of two things in it that are important to each other. The dragon, Fireheart, of course, along with Nick's suit together, and it works really well. There's the elements in there that are the light blue, that are the elements of the dragon skills within it, and on the horns on the helmet and everything, and just all of it just feels exactly like the combination of those two characters together, and it is really good. It's a really well designed suit, and
beautiful.
For those who don't know,
look at it
for the video viewers, right there.
It's so great because not a lot of battleizers get away from red and gold. It's always a lot of red and gold in a lot of the battleizers, honestly. And so when that one did that with red and gold, black, and the blue, that set it apart, honestly.
The blue.
Then we had to get to Operation Overdrive, and I won't even get there. I hate the battleizer.
We're done. Love you, people who like the season, but that's it. All right. Well, we ranked our favorite suits.
We did it. That's amazing. Yeah, we talked about some really cool stuff, and I'm excited. We got through some really cool topics. We talked about a lot of things. We got to know Stick a little bit more, his process and how he does things.
Amazing.
Do you have any interesting, cool, upcoming projects that you're doing as far as helmets that are new completely, or just challenging?
You teased it a little bit earlier, but
the suit. Yes, his Gokaiger OC, yes.
That's coming. I've been trying to get Weapon Wednesdays going, so we have the Shikamaru from Shinkenger Gokai thing. They announced the Memorial one. I guess that kind of kills that. But
did they really? Oh shit! Shinkenger.
Oh yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Got that coming, and trying to think. There's something else. Oh, all the Zenkaiger helmets, not like the Kikinoid,
the transforms,
like Zenkai Black, Zenkai Red, regular Zenkai.
Oh,
So
Oh, like all the Zenkaisers. Oh,
okay, cool. A team of them. I see. That's awesome.
That's
Whoa.
actually so
Have you done
cool.
any of the Kikanoids, like as far as like Zenkai Jiron or anything like that? Have you been?
No one has made the like their morph forms, which is what I want to make. I'd like to make Majin because their helmet.
Yeah.
Thing is sick, but
Yeah. As much as I despise Mighty Morphin, I really like Zenkai Jiron. He's my favorite character in that show, and I really like
Zoo
his
Ranger.
goofy Megazord helmet.
Yeah, it's so cute. I love the
Yeah.
Kikanoids.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh,
There's like
yeah.
a foam pattern out there to make Jiron's like base form. And
just
to be
as,
honest,
like,
I was looking at that and I was thinking like Zach would love this, but it's very different from how I would make my helmets because it's like individual pieces that make up the shape of it instead of like having a base shape and then putting things on top of it. You just put tiny pieces together to create the shape. It's possible, it's doable and easy, but it's going to be a learning curve, and in the future I'll do that. And if I ever do, you know who I'm sending it to. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, thank you so much, Stickosaurus, for just being here, talking to us about your craft.
We changed up the time so much, and I'm very sorry about that.
Honestly, this podcast is still new.
Family and having all that, so you get like having to switch things up all the time. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, you've been very flexible, very nice. You're helping me with my Ryoso Red suit situation, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, thank you so much for being on here. We're honored to have you on here. We're so excited for your progress and your like success you've been having, all the clients you've been getting. You've been very busy. There's not a day that goes by I don't see some kind of thing of, hey, check out how I made these. Boom, post from something you're making with the helmet. Also, I want to end it with this. How my story of how Stick traumatized me a few weeks ago, and he knows what I'm talking about. Well, yeah, it was on TikTok. He, if you don't know, if you ever watched or seen anything, Frankie, from Battle Fever J, Nightmare Fuel the Season, those helmets. So he did one with Miss America, which is just like this goofy metal face and the hair. And in the video, at the very end of it, he cuts to getting like this close with the helmet, and I was unprepared.
Chill out. I saw that video that you made.
And my wife checked out. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I put a comment. I was like, "I don't think I want to watch Toku anymore."
I don't think.
Great. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my god! As much as Showa can be beautiful, it can also be nightmare fuel.
Stickosaurus said, "Shadow Rangers." No, Miss America. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. That's what I like to see.
Is she there in the room with you right now? Like it's the same.
Don't pull her up. Don't pull her up.
Is it? Is it? Oh my god.
He's gonna go up to the camera and jump scare you again.
Had it on for a minute.
All in here.
Stop.
Yo. He's like, look at all the detail. Is that wig from like where does that wig from?
Yeah. How does that go? Because it has a wig.
This is actually like more like a mask.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I could tell when you like kind of lifted it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I used like a fan from a hard hat and just glued a wig to it. Like on Amazon. It works.
Shit. She kind of needs a little bit of a wash.
Specifically one wig for this.
She like use more volume, but you know.
She needs to go to the dresser. Is what
was that a weird transaction with the customer service representative? Like, yep, just one wig, please.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the most tame reason to buy a wig. They're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put this on a helmet that looks like
you want to see what I do?
Like Battle Fever J, and then they'll be like, oh, normal Tuesday.
You watch Battle Fever J?
They're like, now I don't want to, but thank you for showing me. And it's time for us to close. Thank you for buying our wig. All right, thank you so much for joining our podcast, man. Next time we're going to be talking about Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury and what that's going to bring, how Dino Fury handled their season. There's so much to talk about with it, but we're still going to let people watch the new second half of the season. You know,
I've watched only a couple episodes, so I got to finish up. And so we'll be talking about that. I was thinking possibly one of my ideas. I don't know if you know Stick on Toku Twitter. Ballin Plays. He's the #1 Dragon Knight fan. So it's a possibility of having him on the show when we talk about Dragon Knight at one point, because I want to do a whole episode about Dragon Knight because it's art. But I'm thinking about I thought about that as, excuse me, they say Kamen Rider. It's so stupid.
Sorry. I was thinking of Ryuki. I got you.
Because the theme song says "Let's Ride," and that was going to be the original phrase, and they don't use it anyway. So we might have him on the Dino Fury episode. Maybe that may be a possibility if you want to have another guest, or if you want to just be me and you, that's fine. We don't have to have one on. We can just be me and you, Frankie, but that's okay. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Stick, for being on the show. We really appreciate you so much, your time.
Thank you so much.
Effort being on here. And thank you guys so much for watching. And we will talk to you later. See ya.
See you guys later. Bye.
Boop. And boop.